Good morning. So let us start. Before, if that, if you have anything that you wanted to discuss or anything that you wanted to take me, let me know, or we can start for the session.
Karan, this is Aruna. Yesterday I couldn't join the training session. Could you just brief me
Okay.
in 2 minutes, like what all are the topics you covered yesterday? I will go through later the recorded sessions.
Okay, no problem, Aruna. And even whatever we have discussed yesterday, pretty much when from I'll from today or maybe tomorrow we will start with the exercises, right? So we'll try to cover that part. Like obviously that part will get covered again. But just for your information, what we have covered yesterday was basically so if you see let me just recollect what I have covered yesterday. So anyone who attended the session yesterday, please come again. What I have covered yesterday, Venkatesh, Anil. So it was all about Q that we have discussed. That is one thing. Anil, yeah, you're
That's right, Kiran.
speaking. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you covered the queue management and also you took with the one full process of an
right.
example.
Right. So yeah, Aruna, I mean, for your information, so I just remember, yeah. So we have taken end to end. So I think day before yesterday we started with Q, and yesterday we completed all the Q concepts, which you'll be basically using, when you'll be working with the control room and actually on working on the live processes. And then we just took some example of XML file. We tried to fit the data from the main page, and we generated. So in the travel system, if you remember, there was reference number and the cost which was getting generated. So we captured those data and copied the everything to the Excel file again. So how end to end we'll be doing it, that's what we have covered. So I would say just give it a look and try to practice from your end. Just give yourself some scenario, guys. If you don't have a Excel sheet, then let me know. I can email it to you, or if you can also create the same for at your end, that's not a problem.
You also discussed about environment variables.
Yeah, environment variables, like what are environment variables, how basically why you should create environment variables. So that's what we have discussed. So I want to just go through it anyway, and it is I mean very self-explanatory, and in case if you have any doubt, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Karan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. So so pretty much you guys see, from end to end, if you see right from the process studio and object studio and queue management, exception handling. Well, and obviously, like then it's just remaining the part of reporting. I mean, that is all pretty much what we used to do with Blue Prism, right? And then it's all about how you use different object like collections. You in collections itself you have different options, right? And then obviously like MX Excel VBO if you're working with Excel sheet, or if you're working with file management. So as you have seen, uh, even it is very self-explanatory. If you go, let's say for example, if I go in any action, right? Let's say I don't know what I should give the input here. Like I just use the navigate stage, but I don't know about it. So you have this view documentation here, right? So once you click it, it will give you the entire documentation about what all options that you have. Obviously, like you have very different option and you cannot remember everything. So then and there you need to refer these documentation. So it will give you a very fair idea of how to use the thing, because now you have understood pretty much how to use it. And let's say you got a requirement where you are using a combo box, right? So what is combo box, what are options that you have. You can pretty much go through it and try to use it. All everything is there here. Edit, property, HTML element, everything. So that's one thing. Other you also have you also have a object here. If I just bring it, so one of the object that you have is for sending email, right? So how you can send emails. So there is email pop-up 3 SMTPs. So this you can even send the emails. So usually what I have seen, you get a requirement where whenever there is an exception, right? Whenever you are processing through work queues and you come up with some exceptions, so you have to notify the particular group. For example, you are working for HR team, and if there is any exception you have captured, let's say HR system is down, right? And you try to launch the particular application, but it's not launching, and then you capture the exception, then probably you will like to send an email after exception to the HR team. So here, once you have captured the exception, after resume, maybe you can add one action stage to send an email to HR team that this is what the issue is, and so someone can look into it. Apart from marking as exception, so it will be there in work queue, but someone can be immediately notified by sending an email also. So just for example, maybe you can see, you can just add a page. So let me give you one example for email. So if you just use this action stage, so first thing you will have to configure your email SMTP. So for that, let's say you have to provide the user. So let's say right now I'm using a Gmail account, right? And I just created one test email here to show you. So for that, whatever the username is, I will just write it down. So test BP. So these things I'm hard coding, but you won't be hard coding it. You'll be creating environment variable, and accordingly you'll be using it here. POP3 server for Gmail is pop.gmail.com. SMTP same, smtp.gmail.com. The port is port is 995. These are all defined things. So we just trying to configure the connection first.
Karan?
Yeah.
Can we encrypt the password in environment variables?
Yeah. You should be able to do it. So password and all these are not changing, right? So whatever is there, you can always, even if you define the password here, just in general, then you can do it. So whatever you'll write, it will be like a password type things. And if you define as a environment variable, you can also do it. So whatever you create there, it will be reflecting here, and then you can choose that value, and it will be holding the value that you have defined there in system manager, if you remember. Okay, in system manager, environment variables. Yeah, here you can define add a variable. So yeah, like just add the remaining things here. These are defined things, and I just created a text user and password. And okay. And then next action will be send message if you wanted to send us some emails. So again, once you have configured the connection, what you wanted to do, so you have all these options or actions are there. So one of the actions that is send message. So from home, so let's say I choose the same thing, test pp training@gmail.com to same subject. So you can also do an attachment here. So you can define the attachment. So you can add in attachment into collection and you can pull the collection here. Just connect it. So this is how you, if you're trying to run the process just from one of the page, you can set it like this. Then you can just run it. Collection name must have and around. What is a collection name? Let me run it again. Collection name must have and around it. But I'm not using any collection here. Why it is giving me this option? There is no collection used here. Just reset it. Otherwise, we will create a new process and run it. Okay. So I think it's because of. Let me delete this. So what is this? Blank value supplied for input parameter. Okay, that is fine. So here password is there. I mean, that is fine. Pop okay, yeah. So this should always be in this test, right? So we have to give here. Data item must be between and text must be and function should be in function. There is some configuration issues happening here. So this is right, username is right. We are providing the text. This expression is valid. This is right. Password is right. Pop Gmail is right. SMTP Gmail is right. 587. There is no condition and all. Everything seems to be correct only, but we have to check what is the issue happening here. Warning: validate blank value supplied for input parameter attachment. That is fine. I mean, I'm not using attachment here, so that is fine. These are also fine, but we are getting error here. Say data item must be between and text must be between. Okay, and function should be in from function name. Okay, so data item, whatever this username that we have used is right only, right? We are using a double quote here. Password also we have used. So if we don't give a double quote for password, I don't
hope
think.
true. You have mentioned true. That one capital T we have to put or something.
Yeah, maybe something is missing. So yeah, this something.
So I hope this is the case sensitive.
Yeah, I think this is a case sensitive. Yeah, this is a case sensitive. That's true. I just yeah, that's true. I just overlooked it. That true was small written. So now once we run it, cool. Yeah. So true was basically case sensitive that we have to see. So once we go here, you see like I have received the mail. This is a test email. So this is how you can configure any email process, and you can use pretty much while doing the exception handling. So that was one of the thing. One of the other thing is so let's say you have everything ready at your end. Your process is 100% ready, and you did your unit testing. Everything is working fine. Now what is next? What do you want to do next? So obviously in Blue Prism, what happens? You create a package for, like, once you are doing a deployment. Now we will talk about deployment. So once your application is ready, basically you wanted to deploy your application from a dev environment to let's say QA environment, and from QA to IST and production. So for that, what you have to do is you have to package your application. So let's say while creating a particular automated process, you have used a process studio, like you have used process, you have used objects, you have used work queues, and what all things which is related to your automated process that you have created. You will combine everything in a single package, and you will give it a unique name. And that name, let's say you have given a XYZ. So the XYZ package that you have created will have the extension called xyz.bp release. So BP release will be a package which you just go and just put it into a different environment. Either you can email to QA email box, and from there they can download and put it into their QA environment, or like however you want to do it, you can do it. So you already know that there is a concept of export and import, right? So you can export the package to their environment, QA environment. So once you have created the package and you have it ready, so you can play around it. You can do whatever you want. So that is how this release manager works. So I'll show you just a quick thing here. Once you go here, and there is a tab called release manager, right? So once you go in the release manager tab, and once you right click on the release overview, you see the option called a new package. So the new package is nothing but the one that I'm talking about is creating a new package for your for entire application. So once you click on the new package, so let's say I just give a name, travel application, and I click next. You can write whatever description that you want specific for particular package, and then click on next. Now, as soon as you click on next, you see all the options that you have in Blue Prism here. And here you have option to configure the package. These are pretty much drag and drop. So here you will be dragging and dropping whatever things that you are going to include in the particular package. So for example, let's say if I'm using a travel process here, I just gave the name travel process, and let's say I'm using this PP travel new object. I think I'm not using this particular object. Yeah, so I just removed it. So once you bring back here, it will just get removed. So I was using PP travel 26 package here. So I just put the package here. I mean object here, this side. So one is package. So how many package that you are using, you can keep adding here, and accordingly the business object. And then I can add travel code, the work queue that I was using, any calendar or scheduler I'm not using. Let's say I was using Excel path environment variable, I can bring that also. And dashboard and tiles I was not using. So pretty much these things I was using as part of my application automation. And then once I click on next, it create a package file for me. And once I click on finish, you will see a travel application package got created, the date and who created it. Now once this is created, then what you can do, like yeah, so here your package is there, and then you can basically play around your package. So what you can do, once you right click on your package, you see there is a new release. So you can give a name of your release, let's say QA release, and you provide your release notes, like what all changes that happened in your particular automated process. And you can choose the location. So let's say in BP new I have just added a QA release.bp release file. So I told you the release file which will get created will be with the extension called .bp release file. So once you click on next, you see a release QA release saved to this file. So I have exported this particular package as a release file. Now once you go into your BP new, so you'll see that QA release, BP release, this file got created. So this is nothing but you'll have to export to different environment in order to deploy your application. So you can just take this file and go into QA environment, and then there you have the option here, right, in the file management. So you can import it. So from wherever you want to import it, you can import into Blue Prism, and then that particular process or whatever the package is there, it will get available into your Blue Prism. So this is how you do the release management. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. So this was like pretty much so once you have this, so if you see, like, this is everything is now the content of whatever that we have taken so far. We have covered everything now. By now, the small I mean, there's some small things which is there which will be get covered during the consolidation exercise, but pretty much we have tried to cover everything here. And if you feel that if there is anything you wanted me to take again, or if you have any misconception or doubt in any topics, so I can again take that or discuss that. Okay. So, but what we can do from today, like let's say we will take one application which actually Blue Prism provide us. So this is a called training order system. So we can play around this training order system and build a end-to-end case and see that how we can pretty much utilize everything that we have covered so far in building this particular application. So this is nothing but a window-based application that Blue Prism provides us. And so what you have to do here, here you can just log in with the staff number. So let's say you can just write admin and admin. You can sign in into application. So here you wanted to add a new order. So, and this is view existing order and then 3. So you can select the options here. So let's say you selected app option 1 and then you click on go. Then you provide the product code. So let's say your product code is go123. Number required, how many product you require for this code is, let's say 12, and the unit price is 102, and the cost center is, let's say N1. So once you provide everything, this total price will come. So you receive this total price, and then once you submit the order, so order reference number get created. So the order reference number is 176, and then the total price is 124. So what you have to do, like let's say there is a company where, so usually, right, what happen in back office operation, you pretty much face this type of thing on a day-to-day basis where you get all those invoices and then you have to generate some reference number or you have to find the total price, and then you have to write down that in a Excel sheet for the particular line. So how you will be doing it? So let's say if I have an example order system Excel file here, and I wanted to generate a reference number for, these are my product code, this is a number required, and all these inputs I have in my Excel sheet. And what I have to do, like I have to dynamically generate the reference number and capture from there, and I have to write it down here. So how we will be doing it? Okay, so let's start with this, and then we'll try to cover everything using so we will be processing every line using work queues and exception handling, how we will be doing it, the wait conditions, and like process studio, I mean how we will be configuring everything. So we'll see that. So once you go into, so first thing is probably we have to start with an object. So let's say I created one object here, and as I told you, like for any object, right? First thing that we have to do is we have to use the application modeler to first identify all the element of the application. So what we can do is you click on the application modeler, and this is the name of your application. And once you click next, this is your window application. Next, my application is launched from an executable file. So I already have an executable file here. So I'll be just launching it from here. So once you click it, so you can provide the path. So once I click on next, so here just keep it default. So the application modeler for this particular window object has been created. So once you launch it, you can see that you can able to launch the particular window application. And now we will start with just to identify each and every part of this element. So the first thing that you see here is nothing but the login, the sign in page. So first we'll try to identify the username and password fields. So to start with, just give a sign in. So this is so you see like since this is a window application, as soon as I try to identify it, it automatically gave me the option of Win32 mode. So usually all the window application will be coming in Win32 mode. If it is not getting identified in Win32 mode, then you have to use the accessibility mode. So once you keep on clicking on Alt, it will keep on changing the particular the modes. Here you can see it's a reason mode. So reason mode basically we are using in when we were doing a surface automation. That is kind of you when you'll be working on Citrix and all those kind of application, then you require it. But usually most of the time, like 80 to 90%, you'll be using a desktop and web-based application only. So see, I mean, we have Win32 mode here. So just left control and left click, you can able to find the window. So as I told you, the ordinal that we have to use and the match index, which is mandatory, just highlight it. So you can able to highlight the particular window, apply. Now here you can add a child element, which is nothing but the staff number. And identify. So see, I can easily able to go to from each box to each box. So you wanted to enter in this field. So control and left click. Remove all the blank fields. And then ordinal match index. It able to identify it. And then password. Ordinal and match index you can select and then highlight it. So it got highlighted. Then you can apply it. So pretty much you have able
One
to.
small down.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, this training your order environment, that window is opening at the corner of the system, right now. But
Yeah,
if it opens in the middle of the desktop or something like that, will it be able to identify that?
yeah, see.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we just have used the login and password here. Just click on OK. So the first action will be, by default, we use a launch application, right? So we just rename it and give a launch. So you can bring a navigate page here. And then what I'm trying to do is basically launch the particular application. So for launching it, what we have to do, like this is the particular application. We just have to drag and drop here in the element area. And once you go into the action, you will see that you have different options here. So launch, terminate. So terminate will kill the application, launch will launch the application. Now here, once you have launched it, okay, just press OK. And now once you run it, so you can see the application is able to open here. Now, the next thing that you wanted to do, you wanted to sign in into the application. So accordingly, you can just write sign in page. And here, what you wanted to do is basically provide the username and the password. So what we can do for now, just use this stage first. So we'll be using a write stage. So provide username, and for that the element that you are using is nothing but a staff number, and here the value that you are going to pass admin. Password. So sorry, I've used a reader stage. You require to use the write stage only, providing the password. Now what we have to basically do, instead of hard coding it, so we'll be doing it later, but for now I just hard coded. But ideally what we have to do, as we have discussed, we'll be using environment variables. So you'll be creating there, and then you're putting the data item here, and then you'll going into the environment variable, and then accordingly selecting the value and writing it down here. So this is your sign in page. So once you have launched the application, you go into your signing page. See, so you have provided the value here, and the only thing which is remaining is clicking on this sign in button. So what we will do first, we will identify the value also. So add one more element. So once we again select it, and then the ordinal number you'll be selecting, and the match index value. Then highlight it, so it got highlighted. Apply. Okay. There's one more thing I'm not sure if I have told you. So okay, let me bring this application modeler. So what happens if it's not able to let me first close it. Yeah, so what happened, let's say it can be a question like, what happened if you're not able to any mode is not able to spy on the particular element, then what you can do. So there is one more option here. If you click on then identify, other than a spy element, there is one more option, open application navigator. The currently selected element is in the tree already contain information from previous spy operation. This information is about to be replaced. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Let's say if I choose that yes, so what will happen? It will try to bring so in the HTML mode, how you spy it, right? Any element. So all the hierarchy view of all the parent and child in a tree structure will be shown to you. So once you bring it here, so so from here also you can pretty much select the things if in case if it's not working using any mode, and you can basically select the particular element from here also. So that is one of the one more option that you have apart from spying. Okay, so for now just click on OK and so for clicking again we will be using a Navigator stage, and click on login, and once we bring this element here, so there is a global mouse click center is there, right? So usually we'll be using this particular action. Okay, so we launch the application, and then you wanted to do a sign in. Oh, sorry. Okay. What happened? Let me run again. See, this got click, and then this particular window appears. So this is how we can keep on building the things. So now what you wanted to do, you wanted to get this particular option number 1 and then perform the operation. Now here quickly I wanted to give you one more idea. Like, so first time what we trying to do, we try to launch the application and the application get launched, right? Once the application get launched, so if you see here, there is a attach and detach options is there. So if you just see, here is a launch. Once I launch it, so it says a detach. Once I reset it, and if I just click on detach, what will happen? So the thing is, whenever we are working with any application, and once we have launched it, and then there will be further operation that we'll be doing with the particular application, right? Like, let's say there is a website, and in website, in order to launch it, first we have to provide username and password. We have provided once the username and password, and we have launched the application, the website, and then in that website there are several pages, and then we are going and performing all the different options. Then for each and every customer, we don't have to log in again into the particular browser. So if the particular browser will have, I mean, the login page will have one instance which is already open. What we have an option in Blue Prism to attach and detach it. So once we attach it again to the application, it will start working. And once we detach the particular application, it will get detached. Even the window is open, but anything if you try to do here won't work since we have detached the application here. So if I just run it, it will throw me error. Failed to perform step 1 in write stage. It didn't find because the application got detached. It's not attached even though it's open. So for that only we are having provided with the attach and detach options. So if you see here in this particular, in the particular action here, yeah, if you go to login page, so here there is option called attach, right? So this is the option, like once you'll be choosing the attach option, through this you can attach this application again to the process. So once you click on order training attach, you are providing with these inputs. So you can provide the window title, you can provide the window process name. So let's say the title of the, whatever title of the window is. So once you click OK, you go on application navigator. So window title is nothing but sign in. So this is a title of the window. So once you provide a title as a window as an input, and that you have to provide as a wildcard character. So once you provide that, it will again attach the application to the process. So for example, uh, let me create one new page here. Say attach. I'll bring a navigation stage here, and then what I'll do, I'll again bring the order training system here, and then I'll say attach. Now here in the window title text, what I'll do, I'll just say star sign in. So let's validate it. Yeah. So let's say first thing I have launched the application, got launched. Now what I'm doing, I'm resetting it and I'm detaching it. So I detach the application. Now once I go into sign in page and run it, it's throw me an error. Okay. Now I go to attach page and run it. Now the application got attached. So if you see here, this detach option is disabled. Now if once you come here in the start page, set next stage, so this particular actions already started happening. So that's what you see. So this is how, you know, I mean, you can able to attach an application and detach it. You can also do a detach and then you can also attach it. So when the process is running in live environment and you want some page which is there and you which is already available and you just want to attach the particular page to the particular process, so you just configure the particular action here in the navigate, just put the option attach and then you can provide the window title or process name and then it will automatically do the attachment for the particular process. So this was one of the example that I've shown you. Yeah, and then accordingly you can go on building. So the first page was a login page. Now the second page, if you see, is the option page. So once you go here, select options. So you want to select the entire window, left click it, and then we are with the options, an ordinal number we have to select and match index with 1. Highlight, it's highlighting the application, and then apply. Now here what we wanted to choose the option number. So you can just add child option number. Yes, and then you can select it. So it just got selected, and then you can apply it. And then you can add child, you can add one more element called click go. This got selected. Then you can apply it. Click OK. Then accordingly you can add a page, select option. So here you can provide with the first thing is nothing but you wanted to write something, so you'll provide with the write stage, option number, and the value that you wanted to give is nothing but 1. And then you wanted to click the options, which is nothing but a navigate. So click go, triple mouse click center. Okay. Now again, if you just go and it's just launched, then so see, this is how, you know, each, like we are coming with a different windows, and accordingly we are trying to identify different windows and providing all this input, and you know whatever things are required. So I would expect that, you know, try from your end, try to identify the remaining things from end to end and build up application modeler first, and then accordingly build a object for the particular window application, you know. And once you have this particular basic structure is ready, then try to run it from the process studio. So create a process that so what is the requirement is you have to go from step by step. You have to first log in into application. You have to select the different options. So you will be selecting one options for creating order. So creating add order, you have option 1, and then you'll be clicking on OK. Then you'll be providing the whatever product code and all those information and submitting the order. And then once you click the reference number, you will be capturing the reference number. So in the process, you will be building all those things accordingly. Now, once you have everything ready, just try to run it. See if you are able to fetch in a basic collection. Create a basic collection and see if, at least in the collection, if you can able to do it. Then once you are done good with collection, delete the collection and try to import the data through the Excel sheet. So I already told you how you read the data. So create a new page, read the data, bring into collection, and then it will be all input and output. So you provide the input from your main application. Your child object will be getting the input dynamically from the Excel sheet, and then you will be feeding the input, and then whatever output is there, you will be sending back to your main process. And finally, you'll be, once you have this output ready and everything is there in the one collection, then you will be writing the collection to the Excel sheet. Now, let's say you have the collection that you have created is having a 10 rows. I mean, the Excel sheet that you will be using, you have 10 rows, right? So accordingly, once you'll be going into a queue management, you will be creating a 10 different items in the queue, and you will be processing your items from the queues. So that's what I will like you to start working on, see what all approach you take, and then from tomorrow onward we'll see how the things have been managed and what all, if there is any mistake, how we can rectify it. Just try to run your process on very fast speed. See if your process is able to manage that speed, right? The time management and all has been done properly. So everything, there are a lot of things there, and just try to build it and see till where you can achieve this. So it will give you it's a very good exercise, and it is it will cover up many things, whatever we have learned pretty much. And once you do it, you will feel confident, so that you have captured everything end to end. And then once your application is ready, try to create a release manager package and try to export it. One more thing is there, that I just thought of telling you. So in the control room, let's say in the travel code, I have this two item which is already there, right? So this check mark is nothing but is completed. So let's say I wanted to create a report out of this. How can I create a report? I want to send it. So once you right click it, there is an option called export current view as report. So once you select this option and click on next, and destination, let's say you select here. So queue report, travel report 1, whatever name that you wanted to give, you just select finish. So the report will be created here. So once you open it, and so once you open it, you see that what all ID got processed, what was the key value that you have used, what all tags are there, resources, which is resources, how many attempts was there, the time it got loaded, last updated. So this entire report will be shared with the management. So end-to-end things will be covered as part of this exercise. So do you guys have this? Do you want me to send you this particular exe file?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Karan.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't
So
have this
yeah.
petition.
So can you just input me your email ID and I will just forward it to you. So I will send you the Excel sheet also, and then that also.
Okay, Karan.
So just write it down in the chat window and your email ID, and then I will, in 5-10 minutes, I will just forward it to you. So I got you understood what I'm trying to say, like the scenario that I'm trying to explain here, right? Is it clear to you, the scenario? everyone? Anil, Aruna, Charan, Hari.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Lakshman, Venkatesh.
Yeah, Karan.
Yeah, Karan. Yes,
Okay,
Karan. Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, so just give me your email ID and I'll try to forward it to you, and then maybe you can start working on this.
Hariprakash@gmail.com.
Yeah, just write it down in the. Okay, you have already. Okay, you have already. Okay, okay, good. Yeah, so whoever has. Okay, yeah. So I will just forward it to all the email ID that you have shared. So I think for today, pretty much this is what I wanted to cover, and then I think once you will do from your end, and then we can then understand where you are facing the issue and what all things that that you have difficulty, and then we can try to solve that with everyone. That would be good, in a way to learn. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for today, just leave it here, and then from tomorrow we will see. Meanwhile, you can practice. Yeah, I will send all
Karan,
this.
one doubt is there.
Yeah.
In Object Studio, we have one stage called code. So what's the use of that?
So code stage is nothing but you can write any C# code. So let's say for example you wanted to do a typecasting. I mean, how you'll be doing in a C# code. So you can do that also in the code stage. But so far, I have seen there is a zero. I mean, I have not seen any use. Like people will not use that code stage. Very rarely it will be used when there will be no option in Blue Prism if there is. But what I will do, I will try to give you one more example using the code stage also, so it will get clear to you.
Okay, Karan.
But practically, see, you won't be working because I have never seen like there are very few examples where I have seen a code stage is used.
Karan,
And how to
and also
connect
about
to
this log
database?
viewer part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lakshman
Come
was
again.
asking about, I think, a database connection. I am asking about the log viewer part. For example, that is when we are running a application, can we create some log files when it's
Yeah.
created
Actually,
and
yeah.
available?
Actually, I was going to tell you that also. So see, the thing, log view is very. I mean, there's nothing in every option, like every stage that you create. There is a stage logging option is there. So you can enable the login or you can disable the login. So once
Okay,
you
so
enable,
file where it will be created, or
so
any
once you,
file will be created.
yeah, so once you go into your, once you go into your, so here you can view the log. So once you right click it, you can see all this step that happened. So for all the state for which you have enabled the login, you can pretty much see what all step-by-step action that has been configured and what all happened here. So in the session log viewer, you can view the logs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were asking about someone was asking about the
Yes,
database
database
connection, right?
connection. Yes.
Yeah. So I will show you tomorrow. I mean, although I don't have like like database configured in my system, but if you have configured in your system, I mean, if you have let's say uh, SQL Server management studio configured in your system, then probably I will tell you what all steps are there and how you can first configure a connection. So first thing, whenever you'll be working with any email thing or database thing, the first thing is what you try to create a connection. So once your connection is created, like so for database, you will be using a connection string to create a connection, right? So once you have created a connection, then you will be try to do a query, so you can write your query. So I'll tell you all the steps are there, and then you can try from your end. Okay, you can access particular table and you can try to fetch one query and see what all output is there.
Okay, Karan.
Yeah, I think I have pretty much written all this email ID, so I'm good. So let's conclude for today, and then tomorrow we'll see even if I come across anything which is I feel is useful for you, then I'll try to share it tomorrow, and we'll be going with these exercises pretty much.
Okay, Karan.
Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow then. Have a good day.
Thanks, Karan.